Imagine waking up every morning not just because you have to, but because you want to, not rushing through the day on autopilot, but opening your eyes with clarity, knowing there is something meaningful waiting for you. This isn't just another motivational talk or book summary. This is about a life-changing idea that has guided people for centuries, an idea called Ikigai, your reason for being. It all begins with a story. A woman trapped in a coma, unable to move or speak. Doctors doubted she would ever come back. But when she finally opened her eyes, she asked herself a single haunting question. Who am I? That question sparked a journey, not just for her, but for everyone who hears it. Because deep inside all of us lies the same question. Why are we here? The Japanese have a beautiful answer. Ikigai, the reason you wake up every morning. So what is Ikigai? Picture a Venn diagram with 4 circles. 1 is what you love. Another is what you are good at. The third is what the world needs. And the last is what you can be paid for. Where these 4 overlap, in the very center, is your Ikigai. Some people live only in 1 circle, others in 2 or 3. But true fulfillment comes when all 4 align. That's where passion meets purpose and purpose meets livelihood. But how do you actually discover your Ikigai? Start with your childhood, the things that made you lose track of time before the world told you what was practical. Notice the moments of flow when hours pass and you feel fully alive. Pay attention to the compliments you receive, what others consistently value in you. Then explore, try, fail, experiment, and finally act, because purpose is never found in theory. It's found in doing. This isn't just philosophy, it's lived reality. In Okinawa, Japan, home to some of the longest living people in the world, Ikigai is woven into daily life. Their secrets? Food. They follow Harahachi-bu, eating until they are 80% full. Movement, not in gyms but in gardens, walking, daily chores. Community. Lifelong circles of friends called moai who support each other in every season of life. And above all, purpose. Never truly retiring, always having a reason to keep going. But in our modern world, retirement is often seen as the end goal. Here lies a dangerous truth. Retirement without purpose can become the beginning of decline. Many who stop working entirely lose their sense of identity and fall into loneliness. Ikigai teaches us something different. You don't retire from purpose. You retire from a job, maybe, but not from living. Flow keeps you alive, losing yourself in a task, whether it's cooking, painting, gardening, or writing. Daily habits keep you grounded, slowing down, connecting with friends, moving your body, being grateful, savoring the present moment. These 6 rules practiced by Okinawan elders are not just habits, they're lifelines. And when we listen to the elders, we hear timeless lessons. They say, don't waste your time worrying, always have something to do, talk to people, keep learning, be useful, and laugh often. Their culture teaches simplicity, respect for rituals, the beauty of imperfection, wabi-sabi, and harmony with nature. Above all, they remind us that joy is medicine. A smile, a shared laugh can extend life as surely as food or exercise. So here is the call. Your Ikigai is not somewhere far away. It's within you, waiting to be uncovered. You don't have to change everything overnight. Start small. 10 minutes a day doing what makes you come alive. 1 act of kindness, 1 new habit of gratitude. Over time, those small choices build a purposeful life. You were not born to simply exist. You were born to live with meaning. That is the power of Ikigai. And if this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Leave a comment about what you think your Ikigai might be. Subscribe for more stories that don't just inform but transform. Because this is not just knowledge, it's an invitation. Your journey starts now. What if the secret to a meaningful life isn't about working harder, chasing success, or ticking off goals, but about waking up every morning with a reason that makes your heart beat faster? This isn't a list of quick tips. It's a journey into something deeper, something the Japanese call Ikigai, your reason for being. Let me take you back to a story. A woman lay in a coma, suspended between life and death. Doctors weren't sure if she would ever open her eyes again. But when she finally did, the very first thought she had wasn't fear or confusion. It was a piercing question. Who am I? That question shook her, and it should shake us too. Because how many of us live day after day without ever asking ourselves the same thing? The Japanese answer with a word, Ikigai. It doesn't mean your job title or the size of your paycheck or your social status. Ikigai simply means the reason you wake up each morning. For some, it's caring for a family. For others, it's painting, teaching, cooking, or simply being useful to the people around them. So how do you find it? Imagine 4 circles. In one, what you love. In the second, what you're good at. In the third, what the world needs. And in the fourth, what you can be paid for. Where they overlap right in the middle, that is your Ikigai. It's where passion, profession, mission, and vocation meet. And this isn't abstract, it's real in people's lives. Maria in Brazil loved baking. She turned it into a small bakery that not only gave her joy, but also served her neighborhood. David in Italy was a talented chef. His Ikigai wasn't just cooking. It was teaching unemployed youth the skill of food preparation, giving them hope and livelihood. Aisha in Kenya started as a receptionist but loved telling stories. She became a walking tour guide, blending her gift for storytelling with a way to serve visitors in her community. And Kenji in Japan found pure joy in hand-carving wooden spoons. He didn't chase fame or fortune. His Ikigai was simply the flow of creation. So how do you discover yours? Start by asking, what made you happiest as a child? What activities make you lose track of time today? What do others constantly thank you for? Then, experiment. Try new things, volunteer, learn, create. Don't wait for a perfect answer, it comes through action, not endless thinking. And when we look to Okinawa, home to some of the world's longest living people, we see Ikigai alive every day. They eat with moderation. They move constantly through gardening and walking. They live in close-knit communities, and they never truly retire from purpose. Elders there will tell you, keep learning, keep laughing, and never stop being useful to others. That, they believe, is why they live so long and so joyfully. Now the invitation is yours. Ikigai isn't hidden in a book or a seminar or somewhere far away. It's already inside you, waiting to be uncovered. Start small. 10 minutes today doing something that makes you feel alive. Build from there, because at the end of the day, you weren't born just to survive. You were born to live with purpose. That's your Ikigai. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment with what you think your Ikigai might be. And don't forget to subscribe. Because together, we're not just chasing success. We're learning to live with meaning. Why do you wake up in the morning? Not because an alarm clock forces you. Not because you have bills to pay. But because there's something that pulls you out of bed. Something that makes life worth living. The Japanese have a word for this, Ikigai. It means your reason for being, the invisible thread that ties together joy, meaning, and contribution. To begin finding your Ikigai, ask yourself 4 simple but powerful questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And what can you be paid for? Each answer gives you a piece of the puzzle. When you map them out, something fascinating appears. The overlap of what you love and what you're good at is your passion. The overlap of what you're good at and what you can be paid for is your profession. Combine what you love and what the world needs, and you find your mission. And when what the world needs meets what you can be paid for, you've found your vocation. At the very center where all 4 circles connect, that's Ikigai. It's not just balance, it's wholeness, but Ikigai isn't only theory, it's lived daily. One of its most powerful signs is flow. Think about those moments when you're so absorbed in what you're doing that time disappears. Maybe it's painting, writing, gardening, or coding. That full attention state when you forget yourself is evidence that you are touching your Ikigai. And purpose doesn't grow in isolation. It thrives in community. In Okinawa, people belong to Moai, lifelong circles of friends who support each other emotionally, socially, and even financially. They know that meaning is not just me, but we. Ikigai is also sustained by how we treat our bodies. One principle the Okinawans follow is hara-hachi-bu, eating until you are 80% full. It's a habit that cultivates discipline, gratitude, and longevity. Less overeating, more mindful living. And finally, there are the cultural values that make Ikigai sustainable over a lifetime. Wabi-sabi, the acceptance of imperfection and the beauty of simplicity. Ritual, finding sacredness in daily routines, whether it's morning tea or tending a garden. These values keep life grounded, balanced, and deeply meaningful. Ikigai is not some distant philosophy. It's a way of living. It's asking the right questions, recognizing when you're in flow, leaning on your community, practicing balance in body and mind, and seeing beauty in the imperfect moments. So ask yourself, what is your reason for being? If this message inspired you, don't let it stop here. Comment below with which of the 4 questions resonates with you the most. Share this video with someone searching for purpose, and subscribe for more stories and lessons that can help you live not just longer, but better with Ikigai. Imagine for a moment that your life already holds the clues to your purpose. You just haven't pieced them together yet. Finding your Ikigai isn't about chasing some grand hidden truth. It's about rediscovering what has been there all along. Let's walk through a step-by-step plan to uncover it. Step 1. Recall your childhood joys. What did you do for hours as a kid? Before anyone told you what was practical or profitable. Maybe you loved building with blocks, drawing superheroes, or telling stories. These early passions are raw signals of what your heart was drawn to before the world shaped your choices. Step 2. Notice where time disappears. Think about the moments when you lose track of hours, when you forget to check your phone, when you're completely absorbed. That's called flow. Flow is your subconscious pointing you toward something deeply aligned with who you are. Step 3. Listen to the compliments you keep receiving. Often others see strengths in us that we overlook. Maybe people thank you for your patience, your creativity, your way with words, or your ability to solve problems calmly. These repeated compliments are mirrors reflecting your natural gifts. Step 4. Explore and experiment. Don't just think, act. Volunteer. Start a small side project. Try teaching, writing, gardening, coding, or helping in your community. Testing in real life gives clarity that thinking alone never can. Purpose is discovered in action, not theory. Step 5. Start small. 10 minutes a day is enough to begin. Write one page, sketch one design, help one person, practice one song. The key is consistency, not perfection. Small beginnings create momentum. Step 6. Combine love, skill, service, and livelihood, and refine. Look for where your passion meets your talent, where what you love also helps others, and where you can potentially earn from it. This isn't about finding it all at once, it's about refining over time. The outcome? A living cycle of test, adjust, and align. Each step brings you closer to the center of that Ikigai Venn diagram, where joy, skill, service, and livelihood meet. Your Ikigai is not a destination. It's a journey you walk daily, through play, through practice, through service. And it starts with just one small step today. If you're ready to begin, tell me in the comments. What's one childhood joy you want to revisit this week? And if this guide lit a spark for you, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who's searching, and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Together, let's build a life filled with meaning, one step at a time. Picture 4 circles overlapping like a compass for your life. Each one holds a question that points you toward meaning. Together, they form the Ikigai Venn diagram, a simple yet profound way to map out your purpose. The first circle is passion, what you love. These are the activities that energize you, that make you feel alive even when no one is watching. Maybe it's painting, mentoring, designing, or solving puzzles. Passion fuels your spirit. The second circle is profession, what you're good at. These are your skills, your strengths, the things you've practiced, studied, and refined over time. It could be coding, cooking, leading, or organizing. Profession gives you confidence and mastery. The third circle is mission, what the world needs. This is where service lives. It's the contribution you make beyond yourself, helping a community, solving a problem, uplifting others. Mission gives your work meaning beyond personal success. The fourth circle is vocation, what you can be paid for. This is about sustainability, the practical side of life. It ensures that your purpose isn't just fulfilling, but also supports your livelihood so you can keep doing it long term. Here's where it gets interesting. When these circles overlap only partially, they create both satisfaction and pain. For example, doing what you love and what you're good at but without pay feels exciting but unsustainable. Doing what pays well but without love may leave you empty. Living with a mission but without skill can bring frustration. Each gap reveals what's missing, but when all 4 circles align, when love, skill, service, and livelihood meet, you stand at the very center. That's Ikigai, a sustainable purpose that feeds your heart, your mind, your community, and your life. The Venn diagram isn't just a graphic, it's a mirror. Hold it up to your own life and ask, which circles are strong for me and which ones need attention? The goal isn't perfection overnight, but movement toward the center, step by step, overlap by overlap, closer to a life that truly matters. So take a moment now, look at your own diagram. Where are you today? And what's one step you can take to move closer to your center? If this resonated with you, hit like, Share this video with someone searching for clarity, and subscribe for more insights on building a meaningful life. Your Ikigai is waiting. Will you step toward it? What if living longer wasn't about expensive medicine or strict routines, but about simple daily choices rooted in joy and connection? On the island of Okinawa, Japan, people are living proof. They have one of the highest concentrations of centenarians in the world. Men and women thriving well past 100, not just surviving but laughing, gardening, dancing, and sharing meals. Their secret isn't luck. It's a lifestyle, a blueprint we can all learn from. It begins with diet. Okinawans follow the principle of harahachibu. Stop eating when you are 80% full. This mindful habit prevents overeating and keeps the body light and healthy. Their meals are plant-forward, rich in vegetables, tofu, and sweet potatoes, with very little processed food. Eating is not rushed, it's intentional, almost like a daily ritual of gratitude. Next comes movement. Unlike gym workouts, Okinawan exercise is woven into life itself. They walk to visit friends, tend their gardens, squat while cooking, and stretch naturally through daily chores. It's gentle, consistent activity that keeps the body strong without strain. But longevity isn't only about body, it's about community. Okinawans belong to moai, lifelong circles of friends who commit to supporting one another emotionally, socially, and even financially. This sense of belonging protects against loneliness and gives every person a safety net of love. Then there is purpose. In Okinawa, people never truly retire. They continue meaningful work, whether it's farming, teaching, or sharing wisdom long into their later years. Purpose keeps their minds sharp and their spirits alive. Take the story of Mr. Kamada, an elder well past 90, who still wakes up every morning to tend his garden and greet neighbors with a smile. He doesn't see age as a reason to stop living. He sees each day as another chance to give and enjoy. Multiply his story by thousands and you have the living proof of the Okinawan blueprint. The result? Longer, healthier, more joyful years. Not through chasing youth, but through aligning daily life with balance, connection, and meaning. And here's the real question. Which of these habits can you begin today? Eating with mindfulness? Moving more naturally? Strengthening your circle of community? Or living with purpose beyond your job title? If this vision of life inspired you, share this video with someone you want to grow old with, joyfully. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more lessons on building a life not just of years but of meaning. Your Ikigai could be the key to a longer, fuller life. What if the secret to a meaningful, joyful life wasn't about chasing more, but about living better through small, intentional habits? The elders of Okinawa, who live longer and happier than almost anyone else on Earth, follow a set of timeless practices. These aren't hacks or tricks. They are guiding rules for daily living. Let's walk through them together. Rule 1. Take it slow. Life in Okinawa moves at a deliberate pace. People walk slowly, eat slowly, even speak with unhurried rhythm. This isn't laziness, it's mindfulness. By slowing down, they reduce stress and savor each moment. Rule 2. Surround yourself with good friends. Deep bonds are a cornerstone of long life. Having a close circle of friends means you share laughter, support, and even hardship. In Okinawa, these lifelong groups are called moai, and they are as vital as food or exercise. Rule 3. Move daily. But here's the key. It's not about grueling workouts. The Okinawan motto is simple. Get in shape for your next birthday. Gardening, walking, stretching. Movement is natural, woven into the rhythm of daily life, keeping bodies strong without strain. Rule 4. Reconnect with nature. Whether it's tending a garden, walking by the sea, or simply sitting under a tree, nature is part of their daily existence. It reminds them of beauty, cycles, and their place in something larger. Rule 5. Practice gratitude. Every meal begins with appreciation. Each morning starts with thanks for life, for health, for family. Gratitude is more than words. It's a daily reset that keeps the heart light and the spirit humble. Rule 6. Live in the moment. The Okinawan way is one task, full presence. When they cook, they cook. When they laugh, they laugh. This deep presence creates peace and joy that multitasking and rushing can never provide. Together, these 6 rules create a life that is unhurried yet full, simple yet rich, grounded yet joyful. They are habits anyone can begin today, wherever you are. So here's your challenge. Which one of these rules will you start with today? Slow down, call a friend, practice gratitude before your next meal. If this message touched you, like this video, share it with someone who needs a reminder to slow down, and subscribe for more wisdom on living with purpose and peace. Because life is not about how fast you run, it's about how deeply you live. Why do some people grow stronger with age while others seem to fade away? The answer often comes down to one thing: purpose. Having an Ikigai, a reason to get up in the morning, doesn't just make life richer, it makes life longer and healthier. Let's explore the psychological benefits and the real risks of living without it. When you live with purpose, the benefits ripple through every part of your mind and heart. You gain clarity, a sense of direction that keeps you from drifting. You feel energy, because your days are fueled by something deeper than obligation. Worry fades, replaced by meaning, and you often enter that precious state of flow, where time disappears and you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. Purpose builds resilience too, giving you strength to face hardships because you know your life has weight and direction. But what happens without purpose? The risks are real. Without it, people face boredom, depression, and even a loss of identity. Studies show that those who feel useless or disconnected are more likely to decline earlier in both body and mind. Retirement can make this even sharper. When people stop their purposeful activities, they sometimes slide into loneliness, poor health, or a quiet sense of emptiness. The remedy? Never retire from meaning. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be found in small acts of kindness, lifelong learning, creative expression, or serving others in simple ways. A retired teacher tutoring children, a gardener sharing food with neighbors, a grandparent passing down stories. These small acts keep the spirit alive. And let's not forget the most underrated medicine: joy and laughter. Okinawan elders laugh often, at themselves, with friends, at the little absurdities of life. Science backs this up. Laughter lowers stress, strengthens the immune system, and binds people together. It's not just fun, it's survival. So purpose is more than philosophy, it's psychology. It sharpens the mind, heals the heart, and protects the body. The choice is yours. Drift without meaning, or live each day with energy, joy, and direction. If this message gave you something to think about, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who may need encouragement, and subscribe for more insights on building a purposeful life. And tell me in the comments, what's one small act of purpose you can start today? Have you ever noticed how some people seem to wither after retirement while others grow more alive? The difference often lies in whether they retire from work or retire from purpose. Because when we step away from meaningful activity altogether, the risks are serious: loneliness, declining health, and even a loss of identity. Take the story of Tomoko, a woman in her 70s. After leaving her career, she felt adrift, her days empty, her energy fading. But then she returned to an old love: sewing. She began making clothes for friends, then for community groups, pouring her skill into something that mattered. Slowly, her health improved, her joy returned, and she felt alive again. It wasn't about income, it was about Ikigai. The principle is clear: don't retire from purpose. You may step back from your job title, but your reason for being should never end. Roles change, seasons shift, but meaning must continue. In practical terms, this doesn't mean working full-time forever. It can look like part-time projects, hobby-based ventures, or volunteering, teaching children to read, gardening with neighbors, sharing a craft or skill, even mentoring someone younger. These activities keep your spirit sharp and your heart connected. Because here's the truth: your identity is not your job title. It's your Ikigai, the love, skill, and service you carry through every stage of life. Work may end, but purpose doesn't have to. So as you think about the years ahead, ask yourself, when the career chapter closes, what will keep you waking up with energy and joy? Anchor your identity not in what's printed on a business card, but in what gives your life meaning. If this lesson struck a chord with you, like this video, share it with someone approaching retirement, and subscribe for more wisdom on living fully at every age. And tell me in the comments, what's one purposeful activity you want to carry with you for the rest of your life? Have you ever done something so absorbing that you looked up and realized hours had passed, yet it felt like minutes? That state is called flow. Psychologists describe it as complete immersion, a merging of action and awareness where distractions fall away and you're fully alive in the moment. Think of a chef. quietly chopping vegetables and stirring sauces until a meal comes together like art. Or a craftsman shaping a spoon from a block of wood, losing himself in each careful carve. A writer filling page after page without noticing the clock, a gardener tending soil and blossoms, forgetting the world beyond the garden gate. These aren't just hobbies, they are doorways into flow. So how do you enter this state yourself? The secret lies in focus and presence. Start with one task and one task only. Put away distractions, especially your phone. Do it slowly without rushing. And most importantly, learn to love the process, not just the outcome. Flow isn't about finishing fast. It's about being absorbed in the doing. The benefits are profound. Flow restores your mind's clarity and your spirit's vitality. It's like hitting a reset button each day, giving you energy that no amount of scrolling or multitasking can ever match. To practice, begin small. Choose an activity you enjoy, writing, cooking, painting, walking, and give yourself a short phone-free session. 10 minutes of undistracted presence is enough to start building the habit. Over time, you'll find yourself craving more of it, because flow feels like freedom. So here's your challenge. What's one small thing you can do today without your phone, without distraction, where you lose yourself in the joy of the moment? Try it and watch how it changes the quality of your day. If this inspired you like this video, share it with someone who needs more focus in their life and subscribe for more wisdom on purpose, peace, and presence. Flow is waiting. Will you step into it? What keeps Ikigai from becoming just another pressure, another box to check off? The answer lies in the cultural values that sustain it, timeless principles that make purpose feel light, natural, and deeply human. The first is simplicity. In Okinawan and Japanese culture, there is an appreciation for enough over endless accumulation. Instead of chasing more, they focus on what is sufficient. This simplicity reduces stress and creates space for meaning. Next comes cleanliness. A tidy space is seen as a reflection of a clear mind. By caring for their homes, gardens, and community spaces, people also care for their inner world. Cleanliness is not just hygiene, it's harmony. Then there is ritual and respect. Everyday acts are treated with a sense of sacredness. Pouring tea, greeting a neighbor, bowing to say thank you. These rituals elevate the ordinary into moments of reverence. Respect is not reserved for big ceremonies. It's woven into daily life. Another value is wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. A cracked teacup, a weathered bench, a wrinkled smile, each is seen as beautiful precisely because it is imperfect and transient. This acceptance takes the pressure off life needing to be flawless and makes space for gratitude. Finally, there is harmony with nature. Living with the seasons, adjusting meals, clothing, and activities to the rhythms of the earth. This humility, recognizing that humans are part of nature, not masters over it, keeps life balanced and grounded. Together, these values transform Ikigai from a stressful search for perfection into a gentle way of living. They remind us that purpose isn't about doing more, but about living more consciously, with gratitude, respect, and balance. So ask yourself, which of these values speaks to you most right now? Could you practice simplicity or embrace imperfection? Or reconnect with the seasons? If this resonated with you, like this video, share it with someone who values meaning over material, and subscribe for more lessons on living purposefully. Remember, Ikigai is not pressure, it's peace. Sometimes purpose feels abstract, like an idea that belongs in books but not in real life. But Ikigai is not theory. It's lived every day by ordinary people around the world. Let's meet a few of them. First, Maria in Brazil. She always loved baking, but for years thought of it only as a hobby. Then she noticed her community needed affordable homemade bread. She began baking daily, turning her passion into both service and livelihood. Her bakery became more than a business. It became a gathering place where her Ikigai nourished both body and spirit. Next is David in Italy. A skilled chef, he wanted his work to be about more than fine dining. He started a youth training program, teaching teenagers how to cook and giving them opportunities for work. His kitchen became a classroom, blending his passion for food with his mission to uplift others while still sustaining himself financially. Then there's Aisha in Kenya. She worked as a receptionist but felt unfulfilled. Instead of waiting for answers, she experimented. She began guiding small walking tours in her city, sharing local history and culture. Soon she discovered not only her talent for storytelling, but also her joy in connecting people to her home. Discovery through action led her straight into her Ikigai. We can't forget Kenji in Japan. He spends his days crafting wooden spoons. At first glance, it seems simple, but for Kenji, spoon making is flow, an immersion so deep that time disappears. Each spoon carries his quiet joy, and through that he touches others. His Ikigai is not grand, but deeply profound. And then the elders, Tomoko, who returned to sewing after retirement, stitching meaning back into her life, and Mr. Kamada, who still tends his garden every morning well into his 90s. Both prove that Ikigai is not bound by age, it grows with you if you let it. These stories remind us that Ikigai has many forms. Sometimes it's a business, sometimes it's art, sometimes it's service, sometimes it's simply tending the soil or shaping wood. Use these lives as templates, as proof that your purpose doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It can be small or large, quiet or loud, but it is yours. So here's your reflection. Which story spoke to you most? And how might your own Ikigai take shape in your unique way? If you found inspiration in these lives, like this video, share it with a friend who's still searching, and subscribe for more stories and insights. Because your Ikigai might just begin with one small step. Just like Maria's bread, David's kitchen, Aisha's tours, Kenji's spoons, or Tomoko's needle and thread. Let's pause for a moment and listen to the voices of those who've walked much farther down the path of life, the elders who embody Ikigai in its simplest form. Their wisdom is not abstract philosophy. It's practical, lived truth. First, don't worry excessively. They remind us that most of the things we lose sleep over never actually happen. Worry compounds problems, stealing joy twice, once in imagination, once in reality. Their advice is simple. Prepare where you can, then release the rest. Second, always have something to do. For them, idleness is not rest. It's erosion. What keeps the spirit alive is motion with meaning. Whether it's tending a garden, sewing a quilt, or helping a neighbor, having a reason to get up each morning is the secret to longevity. And third, talk to people. They call it social breathing. Just as the body needs air, the heart needs connection. A few warm conversations each day, sharing a laugh, a story, or even silence are what make life worth living. From their decades of experience, the distilled lesson is this: life doesn't have to be complicated. Let go of excess worry. Keep your hands and heart engaged and breathe with others through conversation. That's Ikigai, in its purest, most human form. Imagine the wisdom of the elders blending seamlessly into practical action you can take today. Their message is simple: keep learning, stay useful, and never lose your laughter. Learning keeps your mind alive, warding off stagnation. Being useful, whether to family, community, or even just to yourself, creates a deep sense of worth. And laughter, it's not decoration, it's medicine. Play, humor, and lightness keep the spirit resilient even in hardship. But wisdom without practice fades quickly. That's why here's a 30-day practical starter checklist to begin living your Ikigai. For days 1 to 3, open a journal and answer the 4 questions. What do I love? What am I good at? What does the world need? What can I be paid for? Write without judgment. From day 4 to day 10, revisit your childhood. Try one old joy, a hobby, a game, a craft, for just 10-20 minutes daily. Notice what sparks energy. During week 2, ask 3 trusted people what they value most in you. Sometimes others see the gifts we overlook. In week 3, step outside your comfort zone. Join or volunteer in one local group, class, or community. Connection is fuel for purpose. And in week 4, commit to a daily flow session. Choose one task, silence your phone, and give it your full attention. Even 15 minutes counts. At the end of the month, pause and reflect. What gave you energy? What drained it? Use these insights to shape your next 30 days. This is not just an experiment. It's the first chapter of a lifelong journey. Ikigai isn't found in theory. It's discovered in action, refined through reflection, and lived day by day. At the heart of everything we've explored lies a simple truth. Ikigai is already inside you. It isn't hiding in fame, money, or someone else's definition of success. It's in the small acts, the quiet moments, the reasons you wake up each morning. And here's the good news. You don't have to wait for a grand breakthrough. Start small. Begin now. Purpose doesn't have to be big to be real. It grows as you do, through presence, through connection, through the simple rituals that make each day meaningful. Remember this: You were born to live, not to wait. Every sunrise is an invitation to step closer to your reason for being. So here's my challenge to you. Take one small step today. Reflect, comment below with what resonated most. Share this video with someone who might need it, and commit to a single action that brings you closer to your Ikigai. Because your life's meaning isn't out there. It's right here, waiting for you to live it.